What's up, everybody, and welcome to another A to Geekz. We're going to be covering every single WWE PLE, starting with today. And of course, we're going to be talking about this weekend's Wrestlepalooza.
It's a ridiculous name.
Joining me today is my sexy wife, Julie.
Thank you, and I'm here with my hot husband, Eddie.
Alright, so to kick things off, we're going to be talking about general feels, and then we'll be going into a match per match. Kicking things, I'll take the reins on this one because yours kind of like a counter opinion to mine. So let me kick it off.
Okay.
I think that the card was phenomenal. The matches on this card were great, but if we think back to the first Netflix Raw, this felt like on that same level. So did I think that, especially with all of the build-up, the crazy amount of build-up and promotion that they were doing for this, that it should have been bigger, that it should have been like one night of SummerSlam or one night of WrestleMania? Absolutely. Did it feel that way? Hell no. It felt like a regular PLE, which, hey, I love PLEs in general, but it did not feel like the thing that they were building up, and that took me out of it a bit. I think I would have been able to enjoy it much more if they didn't have all that intense promo beforehand.
I don't know. I disagree. I didn't get the vibe that it was going to be anything like a WrestleMania or SummerSlam. It felt talked about just as much as any other PLE, minus the whole ESPN thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But it just felt like, was the marketing, it felt more commercial, just as commercial as WrestleMania and all that. A little less so, but on the same feel as than other PLEs. I mean, apart from the name, Wrestlepalooza, I liked everything about it. Like, I thought it was a great show. It was slightly better than most of the PLEs, but I wasn't expecting...
You thought it was better than most PLEs, yeah?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like, it had a great lineup, like you said. There was a little, like, the commercial aspect and, like, all the promos, but, like, it was fine. Like,
Fine.
No.
That's how I feel.
No, it was fine in the sense, like, all the promos and all that, like, Triple H came out, like, it did feel like a mini WrestleMania in that regards, but they also did that for the NXT Homecoming, which I thought was better.
We should have talked about NXT Homecoming. Quick shout out to NXT Homecoming.
That
was even though it's kind of, I guess, technically not a PLE, is it a PLE, right?
No.
Not a PLE. That was by far probably the best PLE that we've seen most of the year, at least top 3, because honestly, it was phenomenal. From the matches to the promo at the beginning of it to everything. It was just phenomenal. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Homecoming.
No.
Shout out Homecoming. Sorry we missed it. We're a little bit late. We're starting now though. So yeah, it just was so underwhelming for what they, like, literally you can go back and watch the first episode of Netflix of the Raw on Netflix, and I feel like it was more of a spectacle than it was for the first episode of ESPN. And they built up ESPN way more, or maybe just because I've been watching it more, it felt like they built up ESPN way more than they built up the Netflix deal. So
I feel like because it happened so fast that they had to, like, make up for lost times, like, and they pumped
That's
it
a
up.
good point.
Whereas Netflix, like, it was more of a long-winded affair. I don't know. I was really happy with, like you said, like, the lineup was really good, and it had like it said, for people who watching it for the first time, it had a bit of everything. Like, there was a match that was, emotional. There was another one with nuance. One that showed great wrestling. One was just entertainment. Like, so it had a bit of something for everyone, and it showcased it, like, the female division as well as the male. It had a mixed tag team.
I just feel like, especially like with the opening that Triple H gave, I don't feel like they sold sports fans in those first 2 matches. But anyways, I think this is a good segue to start the matches.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. First up, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
That was so emotional, like, just...
She loved it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. And you could start. You could start. But
yeah, like,
show some love first.
I thought it was, like, great. I thought it was super cute when he came out with, like, the kids and everything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about the kids because I was like, what about the match did you find cute? But yeah,
but
it was
like,
super cute. Yeah. By the way, those apparently, I don't know, I just saw this on social, so I'm not 100% sure how accurate it is, but apparently those were the kids of a previous entrance that he did with a bunch of, like, dudes that came, and since then all of those dudes had kids.
Oh,
and
really?
Those were all, apparently, yeah, that's what I saw online. I don't know how much validity there is to that, but let us know in the comments.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was, like, I thought it could have went one of two ways. I thought most likely that Cena was gonna lose. Did I think he was gonna get that like destroyed? No, especially that it already happened in 2014. Apparently it wasn't as bad as that. Like he did show some with the 3 triple AAs, which was like superb, and like you had like some hope that he might win, but I don't know. I thought he was gonna lose, which he did, and assuming that they're gonna drag on the storyline until the end of his run. Or he was going to win and then there was going to start a new storyline, which I thought was less likely. So it happened as I thought, and it was very emotional. And
so just to pick up on what you were saying about like if it continues into something else, I think that because he lost so bad, I think that it needs to pick up into something else. I think that based off of the storyline that we've been seeing with John Cena, that we're going to get him talking to the fans again and being like, I let you guys down. I told you that I'd give him my best, and I did. But this time around, Brock, we're going at it again, because I think he has one more PLE left. I think it's 4 games. I'm not 100% sure.
He's going to end on a win. Like.
I hope so, but you never know, because like they don't always end on wins. But he already had that passing of the torch moment with Cody Rhodes, so that was kind of earlier on. So it's just very interesting to see how they wrap this all up for John Cena right now, because like I feel like a lot of those end moments have happened already, and it gutted me to see him lose that way though. And my biggest issue with the match though was Brock Lesnar, how much he didn't do with the time of John Cena on the ground. Like, he just looked like he was chilling while John Cena's on the ground. And he's like this, and he's like, you know what I mean? He didn't look like he was like menacing. He barely turned to the crowd and amped them up or whatever. He was just kind of like walking. I get it, but like he was just walking around. It's not his first rodeo either, and he was just like walking around and like ha ha. Like I would have loved to see more from him during those moments, and then I think honestly a lot of it would have been remedied. But like, do I also feel that like they really over the top destroyed John Cena? Yeah, they did. He had those three double A's, attitude adjustments in that, I guess not really middle, but more towards the end middle type thing. But that's all he really had. He got destroyed at the beginning, then he got annihilated at the end, and then the poor man had to walk out. Like, come on. Like, it just felt he better have another run and beat Brock Lesnar, and like we see him go through some like crazy, even if he gets help from all of his like the rest of the roster or something like that, which would be really cool. I don't mind that at all, but give the man a W or at least a dignified loss against Brock Lesnar.
Well, think about it this way. He's at 99 victories for a PLE. He has one more PLE left. Wouldn't the last one be amazing if he ends at 100?
That's great.
And also, like,
that's great.
That can be his final boss. And like the whole comment on the menacing thing.
Flowers. The
whole thing about the menacing thing, like he literally just destroyed what's his name? The announcer. Graves?
Michael Cole? Oh, Graves. Yeah. He was going to destroy
like,
Michael Cole.
He didn't need to do another spectacle. It would have felt repeated. It just felt like, I'm already the best. Like, let me smile and soak it in. And also with the Paul Heyman there, kind of like, it was just like...
That was cool. The Paul Heyman touch was cool. But, like, what I'm saying is that if he felt menacing during those moments, even if he was laughing and stuff, like, he didn't feel menacing. He felt like, I don't know what to do right now.
And maybe he was just scared of his pants ripping again. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
All right. I think that sums up the first match. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Moving on to the second match, we got the Usos versus the Brons.
The Brons.
Yeah, and then having LA Knight referee, which he should do all the time. Best referee. It was amazing. It was so entertaining, the match. Yeah. And mostly because of LA Knight, like, it was just perfect. Like, it was hilarious. I was laughing the whole way through, especially like when he it looked like he was giving Jimmy the edge at first. Like, he threw that out the window after, but like, he was just like, fuck it, it was just perfect.
That was the best twist to the match, because I think that really made the match. Otherwise, I think it wasn't, outside of that, it wasn't that great. Why? For me, because how you start it really determines a lot of the match, and I felt like that intro with the Usos was awkward as fuck. Like, it was just super like, they didn't know what they were doing. His music cued, then the other music cued, then he's like, hey yo, and he's like, are you gonna tell them to turn off bring up their phones? They didn't actually do that, but it felt like there was a lot of thinking going on, and like, as wrestling fans know, you don't want to see them think. Like, that takes you out of it completely. It feels so planned now. It's super athletic, but because of that athleticism, sometimes like it feels like they're doing spots versus an all-out match, and that illusion of a match is kind of gone a little bit. And like again, we had Jay do some botches. Like the worst one for me was off the top where he was supposed to do
the Frankenstein.
Yeah, where Braun Breaker was doing the Frankensteiner, and then Jay just didn't follow with him, and then he's like, all of a sudden he's like, oh no, I got to flip now, and just like, bro, you're a vet. Like, why are you making dumb mistakes like this?
I don't know. They're human. Like, it doesn't bother me when someone messes up. And then, like, as long as you don't, like, just brush it under a thing. You say a comment like, yeah, it was messed up there. Was it actually Braun Breaker who messed it up? No, but, like, regardless. And as for the whole, like, yeeting thing at the beginning, I thought it was a nice switch because the last 2 times I saw Jay come out for a main event, it's always been the first match in the middle of the day, and then you see like it's been like sunlight, and I'm like, okay, he always starts off in the day, so it was nice to have an indoor thing and like, what can we do to change it up? I thought it was a nice spice. Was it executed great? No, like it wasn't perfect, but
it sets the tone. I think it's so important. Like at the beginning of the video, you gotta hook your audience. At the beginning of a movie, you gotta hook your audience, whether that's with slow pacing allure and you know, dragging them in that way, or punching them in the face at the beginning. It matters a lot, and like each match is its own movie or TV show or whatever, right? And like that really got that one off to a really weird start, and I think maybe that's why I had such a problem with it, whereas you didn't have as much of a problem with it. I felt like after that, the flaws became more obvious rather than just being immersed into it, which I think the best PLEs and the best shows, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, like the best ones make you forget that you're watching wrestling, pro wrestling, and it makes it feel like it's all real. You know what I mean? That said, there were a bunch of spots in this match where I would turn to Julie and I was like, was that legit? Was that real? Like, did they actually get clipped on that one? So shout out to them there. There was a lot of really phenomenal stuff throughout the match. I'd still, you know, give the, you know, 2 thumbs up for this match, but those are the things that really like took me out of it. And honestly, I'm tired of the Jey Uso thing. Like I was a huge Jey Uso fan. I still am, but I'm really tired. Like another thing that brings me to another thing. Like what disappointed me too was that I get it when everybody sees it coming, they gotta pivot. They even said that in Unreal, but like, oh, come on, make him a heel already. Make Jey a heel already. Like he's gonna be so much better as a heel than he is as a babyface. Not to say that he wasn't phenomenal as a babyface, but like that's it passed, and it was such a gimmick that like it gets a bit, it drowns out the rest of who Jey Uso is, in my opinion, and all that stuff. And I think he needs time to focus on that. And also he said that like that intro kills his stamina and kills him. So like either bro get some workouts in or drop that intro, because like I don't know what's going on there.
I also don't think he should turn heel overnight. I think it should be.
It hasn't been overnight though. It has been a slow.
No, I don't think it should just be 1 month of it like brewing or whatever, 1 or 2 months brewing. I think it should be a slow cook, considering he was like, you know, the kids are still recovering from John Cena turning heel. Let them have a break. Let them have Jay for a bit longer, okay?
Yeah.
Anyways, the third match was...
Are we jumping?
We're jumping.
All right.
The third match, Io Sky versus Vaquer. I can't pronounce her name.
Stephanie Vaquer.
There you go.
Third match, Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer.
Io Sky is my favorite wrestler, period. Mm-hmm. She is phenomenal.
She is great. She's amazing. Yeah.
Amazing. I had a feeling she was gonna lose. I thought there was gonna be an interruption. I'm so happy there wasn't. Hands down, the best wrestling match. Was it the most necessarily entertaining? But it was like wrestling at its purest. It was gold. Shout out to both of them. It was so nice how they paid respects. Like, it was just.
Yeah, I'd say that this is the one that I had the least to say, because like you said, it was just great wrestling. Like it was just a really great technical match. They hit their spots. They did a great job throughout. And then I mean, I'm happy Vaquer won because I didn't want Io to win. Not that I don't love Io. Io was amazing. Relax. Not that I don't love Io. Io was amazing. Io is amazing. But yeah, it was Vaquer's time. Like, they put her on the shelf for a little bit there, and then I'm happy that they gave her the proper build-up to this match, at least, because, like, she had been on the shelf for a while, whether that was because of injury or just because of they didn't know where to go with the storyline exactly because of Naomi or whatever the case was. I'm happy that she was brought back into the spotlight before this because it would have felt a bit abrupt if she hadn't been. So I was really, really happy to see that. And I'm excited to see her as a champion. Like, she works so hard. Like, any interview you see with her and stuff like that, you just feel the wrestler oozing out of her. And, like, that is who she is. She said she never, in multiple interviews, but if you want to watch the CVV one that came out recently, she said she never pictured herself doing anything but wrestling. Once she figured out she wanted to do wrestling, that was it.
It was so sweet, the moment with her dad, and then like he takes the belt after. It was just so warm hearted. Like, even though, like I said, like Io's my favorite, it was so nice seeing her win.
Mm-hmm. But now the challenge begins. What is she gonna be like as a champion?
Yeah, we shall see. I think she'll be it'll be like a mix with Io, but a little bit of spice, so we'll see.
Yeah, Io's run was pretty good. But like Io's run relied on the Bianca Belair and the Rhea Ripley kind of involvement in it. So I'm curious to see if they do that with this one. I don't know. I think that's the thing. Like, which excites me about it is that I have no idea where they're going to go with her now.
Yeah.
Because like there wasn't too much set up beforehand, and most people like her.
Yeah.
Like in the back, in backstage and storylines and stuff like that, there isn't really anybody against her. So maybe they throw in Asuka as kind of like her opponent, but I felt like that storyline was going to the Rhea Ripleys and the.
I mean, she's champion now, so everyone can just jump in and like take, like, you know what I mean, like the locker room could just.
Yeah, I guess, but like so I'm just curious to see where they take that now. I think Asuka is the only logical one without starting something new, and then maybe they fold in the Nikki Bella and the Rhea Ripley aspect of it into that mix.
I mean, they could also be like Judgment Day. Like, Roxanne and her probably have like a history with the whole NXT thing, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
or maybe this is the opportunity
for what?
Yeah, they bring up
Liv.
Lola. Liv. She's so good. Liv. I think Liv.
That would be
cool.
nice. Yeah.
That'd be cool. But like they'd have to. It'd be cool, but they'd have to figure out a way, right? Because like,
well, if she
I think
out of
Judgment Day. Well, that's the thing. Like going back, kind of going outside of the PLE a little bit here. The whole Judgment Day thing now is back in full swing. Like I personally, I feel like they paused it for a second, right? Because Liv got injured, they weren't really sure what to do with it, and now all of a sudden we're seeing those storylines come back. Roxanne leaves to go see him alone, which was where they were left off, kind of with that. It felt a little weird that they just brought it back, but hey, at the same time, it didn't feel that weird, so win for them.
She comes back soon, and then she says "F you, Judgment Day," and then she goes after the belt. Like, that would be.
And in the Judgment Day, there was also the Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, El Grande Americano thing, so that's brought back into the fold. So definitely, they're going to be either breaking up or changing, or who knows what exactly is going to happen. But that's why I don't think that necessarily Liv will be in that fold until later. I think maybe Liv will win the belt again later, and this will give Stephanie some time with the belt. And then, we'll see where that goes. Or maybe Liv switches brands. Maybe Liv goes to SmackDown and finally takes the belt off of Tiffy Time. Yeah, because Tiffy's been holding it for forever. So
honestly,
well, if she doesn't lose it already this SmackDown.
I mean, she's such an she's such an awesome champion. I'd be happy if she keeps it for 10 years. Like, I'm good with that. Match 4?
Wait, second side combo, because I do want to, because we're only going to be talking about the PLEs pretty much, because it's just impossible to keep up with the pace of SmackDown and Raw and NXT and stuff like that, so that's why we're focusing on the PLEs, because this is an everything channel after all. So just to touch on that, I think that an interesting conversation that we had I want to talk about here is the difference between Cody Rhodes and Tiffany Stratton. Yeah. Because for me, Tiffy is the perfect belt holder. Like, I 100% agree with you. When she comes in, she is fully there. She feels like she's ready to dominate, and she isn't overutilized. Whereas with Cody, even though I really love like this kind of change up in him, the slightly more edgier side of him that we're seeing now versus a few months ago, I really like that. But at the same time, I hope they keep this pace up that they have been doing for the last few months, where he's there, but he's not overused, because he was definitely overused, not just in WWE, but outside of WWE.
Well, he was the quarterback.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the reasons why I got invested into WWE again, for sure. Him, Rhea, and stuff like that. But it's funny how those people are the ones that I'm kind of like losing interest in now. So it's interesting to see that difference. So I hope that if he keeps the belt, I just want him to lose the belt, because I really want to see him without the belt. I want to see what they do with him without the belt.
Do you want to just like skip to the main event? Like, I know we'll go back to the tag team, since we're already talking about Cody Rhodes.
All right, good point. Let's jump to the main event. Cody versus Drew McIntyre.
Well, like I said, I love him as champion, so I'm happy he won. Was it his best performance? No.
I liked it.
I felt like he was very rusty. However, remember, he just felt like a slower paced, like he didn't feel like that spunk, like when he does a Cody cutter and it's just like, and it just hits, and you're just like, whoa, Cody. Like, I didn't get that from him. Like, I thought it was probably the worst match of the thing. Drew held it together, even though I was going for Cody.
I'm going to be the positive one here. All right, go.
But remember, he just had a baby, his second child. Even if he's not the one waking up at night, I'm sure he's helping. You know how tiring it is? Like, our oldest is 4. I haven't slept in 4 years. Like, I get it. Like kudos to him. He's still on the road, but like, it takes a toll on you. Like, even if his sleep's gonna be interrupted, his mind's on the family. It makes sense. Like,
see, maybe that's why I like the match so much, because he felt less polished. And, like, that felt nice. Like, going back to what I was saying at the beginning of in the general kind of overview of it, like, it felt great. Like, it felt authentic and real. Like, it didn't feel like people were going to their spots and then doing their thing, and then, oh, now we got this thing to do, and now we got... It just felt great. And, yeah, I agree. He was a little bit sloppier, but I wonder almost if that was intentional.
Yeah, because he just... quote unquote got injured, he's slow from getting a beating and all
yeah.
that. Like, that's what they were going for, so it was fine. But it was just
perfect. Like, to me that was one of my favorite matches of the night. Like, I really, really enjoyed that that match.
Because I like Cody so much, I didn't have that Cody magic, but it was so nice to see Drew. Like, I almost, even though I wanted Cody to win, I felt Drew deserved it. So I kind of just like, oh man, like another thing for him to complain about, kind of thing.
But Drew's gonna get it. Like, Drew's gonna get the belt very, very soon. I think this was first of maybe 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure. I think that it's honestly in Cody's favor to lose the belt, not just because of my own personal stuff, but like, honestly, somebody in the new roster needs to start getting those world championship belt titles up, because there's such a chasm of a difference between like the Randy Ortons, the John Cenas, all those people, and how many world titles that they've held versus like the new, even Seth Rollins. I think he's only at like 6 or 7.
Oh really?
Or 8 maybe. But like, I guess he would be, but he's been there for a while too. So I'd like to see some of the newer champions kind of start racking in
their numbers.
Yeah, the numbers. I know you're a fan of having a belt held for a longer period of time.
Yeah, if I was champion, I'd rather be the longest reigning than I lost it. Like.
Yeah, I get it.
No offense, Cena.
I get it. But yeah, no, I totally feel different about this match. I loved this match. Like, it felt like really good wrestling. It felt like it felt like 90s. I feel like the 90s wrestling, Attitude Era wrestling, like, it felt not as bloody and all that stuff, like maybe that we saw in, thinking back to like the Sammy and Kevin Owens match that was pretty bloody and whatnot, and felt really like an old school Attitude Era match. I think that this was kind of like a nice middle ground between generations of wrestling. Like, it didn't feel super clean, but there were still a lot of really great spots. Like, even Drew McIntyre went over the ropes.
Yeah,
that was insane. So... like, what a bump to take. Like, what? So that was wild.
No,
it was great. Like, I loved it. I really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I liked the first match.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so moving to what was personally should have been the main event. I get it, there wasn't a belt on the line, which I was confused about, but there wasn't a belt. I could have swore with the whole exchange. Anyways, I was just being a dumbass. So I know there wasn't a belt on the line, and they needed that belt spot for that last match. Going back to the ESPN thing and stuff like that to give it some stakes. But this felt like the main event. By this, I mean Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Yeah, I thought it was the most anticipated, so maybe that's why I've had the main event feel like people probably were looking forward to it the most.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was
I loved it. It was my favorite match.
It was super good. It's like they knew what they want. I felt the most nuanced. Like you didn't know what you were gonna get, especially that they kept saying you don't know what you're gonna get with AJ Lee and so I thought it was like super good. Like it was a nice time to like try different things and like make it like it was very more storyline, like funny, what's gonna happen, cool entrances.
A little bit of everything.
It had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But
it was a great showcase. It was a great showcase for what WWE can offer as a whole. Whereas the other fights were very much like, this is this type of fight, this is this type of fight, this is this type of fight, something for everybody, to your point before. This felt like this is the GA, the general audience. Everybody can watch this and enjoy it.
But going back to having the belts on the line, I think the reason that they didn't put the belts on the line is because they had a bit like the whole Becky kind of being like scared of, like if the belt was on the line, that girl would have like, you know what I mean? Like there would have been more fight in both, like, you know what I meant?
Yeah.
Instead of it being more of a storytelling thing. Like there wasn't that the defense, I need to have it. It was like, okay, whoever wins, like, but I want to protect my wife or I want to protect my husband. It was like
so good.
It was
so
really
everything
good.
about it was perfect.
And I like that they had the submission holds and all that. Like you don't see that as often, like someone tapping.
That clean finish, like if that like could have been an ugly finish if it was even off a little bit. But AJ was so, and Becky too, shout out, because it is a dance, was so clean going for, I forget what the move she was going into, but she just jumped into the Black Widow. No. But like what Becky was trying to set up a move, and then she jumped into the Black Widow. Okay. It was like, it looked like a magnet being drawn to another magnet. Like she just went right into it. Yeah. It was so clean and sick. Like I had no problems with Becky tapping, especially after how nice that was. Yeah. Like it was just so fun. So much. It started off a little bit slow, which these matches are supposed to and stuff like that. But it just fed into what we're used to with them like trying to run away and stuff like that. Which I wasn't as big of a fan seeing Seth and Becky do that, but after like the second time they did it, I felt they sold it a lot better. And then that last time that they did it, where like it looked like they were at odds with each other, and then Becky came back in the ring and did her move, like that was sick. So that she's taking new heights for me because of this entire storyline.
Becky's just like,
she was already like there, top dog, but like now after this,
she's also like one of the best on the mics. Like she is just phenomenal. Absolutely. Like she makes me like appreciate even like Seth Rollins has never been one of my favorite. But like
Seth Rollins. I should have been wearing. Damn, missed opportunity. I should have been wearing the shirt.
Well, you can save that for next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they were like, because of Becky. Like I was actually going for that team, and it was just like.
I didn't have a particular team that I was going. Well, I guess I was definitely going for Becky actually, but like only by like a hair. Only by a hair was I going for Seth and Becky. Just because like. I'm not a huge CM Punk fan. I know that's gonna, piss a lot of people off, but that's all right. Yeah. But
yeah, no, like I had it like a feeling they were gonna win. Also, like it was just great. It was great. It was entertaining.
And to be clear, like I do like CM Punk a lot, but it's just like I don't know. I feel like he's a bit of a crybaby or whatever, maybe a little bit. But funny moment when we went to Raw in Quebec City. I swear he was staring, because I was chanting for him, because obviously, like, I still like the dude. Not my favorite, but I still like the dude. And I swear he just looked me down.
I thought he was looking at me.
Yeah, you thought, well, I'm pretty sure he was looking at me because I was wearing a Seth shirt chanting for him.
It did look really weird.
He looked very, very confused.
Like, it was like a pause moment, like, are you, like,
yeah.
did you buy the wrong shirt, buddy?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
do you know who I am? Can you see it? These suits are pretty good. Like, what do you?
Yeah. So it was pretty funny. That was a hilarious moment because like I just froze up. I went from being like yeah to being like yeah to yeah. I don't know. Like I didn't know what to do with my hands. But it was pretty hilarious. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So that's it for today's episode. Until the next PLE. I want to drop another episode actually of our experience going to a live WWE event, which we went to at Raw. A few months back now, a month and a half.
August 11th.
Yeah,
in,
so
Quebec City.
Look forward to that because I got a lot to talk about there in terms of like the experience from a live show versus watching it on TV.
It's
And I don't want
different.
to, two very different things, and I don't want to spoil anything for that episode. But stay tuned, hit that like, hit that subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell, but keep it on recommended, because you might not love everything on the channel, but you might love a few things. And as always,
Keep it geeky.